Carole and I are absolutely thrilled by today's announcement. But now, let's shift the spotlight to someone often called Super Granny, Kate Middleton's mother, Carole Middleton, featured in this week's issue of People magazine. Carole is celebrated not just as the mother of the Princess of Wales, but as a hands-on grandmother who plays a vital role in the lives of the royal children. Ever since Kate married into the royal family, Carole has remained a steady and supportive presence. Who could forget the iconic image of Kate stepping out onto the Buckingham Palace balcony, her face lit with wonder as the crowd below chanted for a kiss? It was a moment witnessed by thousands in person and millions on television, one that symbolized a new chapter for the monarchy. Behind the scenes, however, tensions have simmered. Reports have long suggested that Queen Camilla and Carole Middleton have clashed over their roles in Prince George, Princess Charlotte, and Prince Louis's lives. The core issue: the amount of time the children spent with their maternal grandparents, particularly Carole, compared to their more limited interactions with the royal side of the family. Carole has often spoken about her love of gardening and how she's been encouraging her grandchildren to enjoy planting and growing things, hoping to pass on her passion for nature. This nurturing, hands-on approach seemed to highlight the contrast between her involvement and that of Queen Camilla, who was reportedly less comfortable with the frequency and ease of Carole's presence in the children's day-to-day life. As a result, public perception began to form. Carole Middleton, the devoted and ever-present grandmother, versus Camilla, the more distant and formal step-grandmother. Though Camilla initially appeared indifferent, the comparison began to weigh on her. Carole was regularly photographed attending school events, organizing family outings, and even vacationing with the grandchildren, her joy and connection with them evident in every image. But could anyone truly blame Carole for being so involved? She wasn't just present, she was essential. Unlike Camilla, who had long prioritized her royal duties and public image, Carole poured her energy into her family. Her relationship with the children mirrored the deep, affectionate bond she shared with her daughter Kate. This authenticity made it easy for the children to gravitate toward her, while Camilla's ties to them, like her marriage to Charles, felt more formal and at times strained. There was also the unspoken weight of history. The role Camilla played in the breakup of Charles and Princess Diana's marriage was never forgotten by the public. Some still believed that had Camilla not been involved, Diana, the beloved people's princess, might still be alive. In many ways, Carole Middleton became a quiet, dignified echo of Diana's legacy, nurturing, grounded, and fiercely loyal to her family. Together with her husband Michael, Carole stood behind Kate as she transitioned into royal life, offering unconditional support. Her strength wasn't loud or confrontational. It was composed, rooted in deep love and unwavering presence. Raised in public housing and coming from a working-class background, Carole Middleton embodied a kind of resilience and humility that couldn't be dismissed. This strength eventually reached a breaking point with Queen Camilla. According to palace insiders, Carole addressed the ongoing tension with a calm but piercing honesty that caught Camilla off guard. Whatever she said reportedly left Camilla in tears, an unexpected moment that has since captured headlines and stirred public curiosity. What exactly did Carole say to move the Queen to such emotion? That question still lingers. But one thing is clear: Carole Middleton, once considered an outsider, now stands as a quiet force within the royal family. Loved by her grandchildren, respected by many, and impossible to ignore. The tears, they say, were born of reflection. But to truly understand what brought Queen Camilla to such an emotional point, we must first understand Carole Middleton, who she is, where she came from, and why Kate turns to her in times of turmoil. Carole isn't just the mother-in-law of the future king. She's a woman whose journey from humble beginnings to royal matriarch has been nothing short of extraordinary. Carole Middleton's story began in modest surroundings. She was born into a working-class family. Her father worked as a decorator, while her mother took on part-time work in jewelry. They lived in council housing in Ealing, later moving to a small Victorian flat in Southall, West London. Carole attended the local high school, but at the age of 16 she dropped out, disillusioned with the school system. Though her parents tried to persuade her to return, Carole was determined to forge her own path. Still, education mattered to her. Eventually, she went back and finished high school, hoping to become a teacher. Unfortunately, her dream was cut short when her family couldn't afford the fees for teacher training. Instead, she entered the workforce, taking a job as a shop assistant at John Lewis before joining British Airways as a secretary. It was here that her life took a new turn. Carole was promoted to air hostess, and during this chapter of her life, she met Michael Middleton, a flight dispatcher from an aristocratic Yorkshire family. Michael's lineage included connections to British nobility. His grandmother, Olive Middleton, had served as a VAD nurse alongside her cousin Florence Baroness Airedale. Despite their very different upbringings, Carole and Michael fell deeply in love and married on June 21, 1980. But marriage didn't instantly bring ease. The young couple continued to face challenges, living abroad in Amman, Jordan, in a modest two-story villa. During their time there, Catherine was 2 years old and Pippa just 8 months. Michael had been promoted to a management position at British Airways, but eventually they decided to return to England, both for family reasons and to ensure a traditional English upbringing for their children. Back in the UK by 1986, Carole was determined to build something lasting. Shortly after the birth of her third child, James, in 1987, she had a spark of inspiration. Frustrated by the lack of exciting birthday supplies while planning Catherine's 5th birthday party, she spotted a market gap. Everything available was uninspired, basic clown-themed plates, and generic decorations. Carole envisioned something better, brighter, and more imaginative. That's when Party Pieces was born. With an instinct for what children and parents wanted in party celebrations, Carole began designing and selling her own festive supplies. The business quickly took off. Her insider knowledge as a mother gave her the creative edge, and her determination fueled the operation. She wasn't alone. Party Pieces became a true family affair. As the business grew, so did her children. James would bake cakes after school to support the business, and Catherine helped develop themes for baby and birthday parties. From their success, the Middletons were able to provide their children with a comfortable, traditional middle-class upbringing, private schooling, a beautiful home, and strong family values. Carole's rise from a shop assistant to the founder of a multi-million-pound business, and eventually the grandmother of a future king, was not only remarkable, but deeply inspiring. It's this background, this quiet strength and relentless love for her family, that explains why Kate leans on her mother during life's most challenging moments. Carole Middleton isn't simply a supportive parent. She's the emotional bedrock of the family. And for Queen Camilla, perhaps seeing Carole's unshakable presence stirred more than rivalry. It stirred reflection, even regret. Enough, it seems, to bring tears to her eyes. It was heartwarming to learn just how involved the entire Middleton family was in the growth of their business, Party Pieces. The success of the company transformed their lives, allowing them to provide opportunities they had once only dreamed of. Thanks to the business's rapid growth, the Middletons were able to send their children to prestigious private schools and elevate their lifestyle, something Carole, who once dropped out of school, might never have imagined possible. Their newfound financial stability also allowed them to invest in property. In 1995, they purchased Oak Acre, a Tudor-style manor house in Bucklebury, Berkshire. Later, in 2002, they bought a flat in Chelsea, London, paying in cash. Yet despite their financial ascent, Carole and Michael never lost sight of their priorities. Their children remained at the center of their lives. The Middletons fostered a warm, supportive household and instilled core family values, teaching their children to set ambitious goals and believe in their ability to achieve them. Much of Princess Catherine's grace, resilience, and composure in the public eye could be traced back to her mother's influence. Carole was more than just a parent. She was Kate's emotional anchor. Even after marrying into the royal family, Kate remained grounded, thanks in no small part to her mother's steady presence. Carole was there to support, advise, and encourage her daughter as she transitioned into royal life, helping her navigate the intense scrutiny and expectations that came with marrying the future king. But Carole's influence didn't end with her daughter. She plays a vital role in the lives of her royal grandchildren. Prince George, Princess Charlotte, and Prince Louis. Carole Middleton has often been referred to as the ideal mother and grandmother ever since Kate's relationship with William began at the University of St. Andrews. Carole has stood firmly by her daughter, offering guidance especially as Kate prepared for the royal wedding and eventually motherhood. While Carole has other grandchildren whom she loves dearly, her role as grandmother to the little royals is especially prominent given the immense responsibilities tied to William and Catherine's royal duties. Carole and Michael have stepped in to offer hands-on support. Their presence ensures the children experience not only the traditions of royalty, but also the warmth and normalcy of a loving, grounded family environment. The Middleton influence has often been described as the factor that makes the Wales household feel more normal amidst the rigid formality of royal life. Carole's involvement in the children's upbringing didn't begin recently. It has been evident from the very beginning. During her pregnancy with Prince George, Kate spent a significant amount of time at her parents' home, leaning on her mother for support. When Prince George was born on July 22, 2013, it was Carole and Michael who were the first family members to visit him at the Lindo Wing in London. Their joy was palpable, and their involvement continued after the birth. Catherine even chose to spend the early days of new motherhood at her parents' home in Bucklebury Manor, Berkshire. There, she could recover and bond with her newborn in the privacy and comfort of her childhood home, surrounded by the people who had always made her feel safe. During the first few weeks after Prince George's birth, Princess Catherine chose to stay with her parents at Bucklebury Manor for a peaceful postpartum experience. Prince William supported this decision wholeheartedly, and the couple enjoyed precious early moments of parenthood with the comforting presence of the Middletons. Carole Middleton, in particular, was deeply involved in helping with bedtime and bath routines for the children, a reflection of the hands-on approach Catherine had grown up with. Unlike the traditional reliance on royal nannies, the Middleton way emphasized personal involvement in child-rearing, which helped shape Catherine into the grounded and nurturing woman she is today. This support system proved invaluable once again in 2024 when Princess Catherine stepped away from public life to undergo treatment following a cancer diagnosis. During this difficult period, she found solace at her parents' home, surrounded by love, quiet strength, and familiarity. Carole and Michael Middleton were unwavering in their support, providing both comfort for their daughter and stability for their grandchildren. Carole stepped in to help with school, drop-offs, and daily routines, ensuring the children's lives remained as normal as possible and that their mother could focus on healing. Reports revealed that the Middletons went above and beyond to keep the children happy and engaged during this challenging time. They played card games, rode bikes, baked together, and made sure joy remained a part of the household. These selfless acts of love from Grandma Carole and Grandpa Michael helped shield the young royals from stress and sadness. As a result, Catherine was able to rest, recover, and regain her strength, eventually returning to public life by organizing her annual Westminster Abbey Christmas Carol. Catherine's public reappearance was widely celebrated, but it was young Prince Louis who truly captured hearts during the event. As he walked toward the kindness tree, he carried a small handwritten note dedicated to someone very special. In charming 6-year-old handwriting, the note read, "Thank you to Grandma and Grandpa because they have played games with me." It was a simple yet touching gesture from the youngest Wales child, expressing heartfelt gratitude to Carole and Michael Middleton for their presence and love during his mother's illness. The moment brought smiles, not just to the Middleton grandparents, but to people around the world, serving as a powerful reminder of the irreplaceable bond between grandparents and grandchildren. Carole Middleton, now a grandmother of 7, once shared in an interview that her family remains her top priority. Despite her age, she insists she still feels young and full of life, eager to run down hills, climb trees, crawl through playground tunnels, and dance in the kitchen with her grandchildren. She embraces the mess and the joy that come with being a hands-on grandmother, cooking, biking, and laughing with the little ones as often as she can. Her approach to grandparenting is joyful, active, and filled with intention. These tender moments are not new. Back in 2015, during Princess Charlotte's christening in Norfolk, Prince George was caught on camera sweetly turning his head throughout the ceremony, scanning the crowd to find his beloved grandmother. In 2019, at the King's Cup Regatta, Carole was nearby when Princess Charlotte cheekily stuck out her tongue at onlookers instead of waving. The playful moment made headlines, showcasing the carefree, mischievous side of the young royal, likely encouraged by the sense of freedom and fun she feels in her grandmother's presence. Rather than scolding Princess Charlotte when she playfully stuck out her tongue at a crowd during the King's Cup Regatta in 2019, Carole Middleton simply laughed along with her granddaughter. The moment, caught on camera, was a light-hearted glimpse into the affectionate bond between grandmother and grandchild. While royal tradition often requires the Wales family to spend the festive season at Sandringham, they frequently carve out time to celebrate parts of Christmas with the Middletons. Carole once shared that during the holidays, she ensures each grandchild has their own Christmas tree in their bedroom, something they can decorate however they please. These small, thoughtful gestures turn her home into a magical haven for the children. Despite the enchantment she brings to her grandchildren's lives, Carole is no stranger to the challenges of balancing family and work. Running a successful business while being a present and involved mother and grandmother has never been easy. She's admitted there's no secret formula, just the power of good organization, early mornings, and prioritizing time between work, school runs, and family. Carole advises mothers to accept help when it's offered and to surround themselves with trusted people. That wisdom has served her daughter Catherine well. Kate has leaned on her parents throughout her parenting journey, and it's no wonder. After all, Carole helped raise her to become the compassionate, strong woman she is today. While Kate Middleton benefited from the steady presence of a loving mother, the same can't be said for Prince William. He tragically lost his mother, Princess Diana, at the age of 15, and his father, Prince Charles, now King Charles III, was often occupied with royal obligations. William did gain a stepmother later in life, but the maternal void left by Diana's death was profound. This raises an important question. How have Prince William and Princess Catherine managed to provide a warm, grounded upbringing for their children in such a uniquely pressured royal environment? Prince William and Princess Catherine have been widely praised for their parenting style, both by the public and by members of the royal family. Their approach to raising Prince George, Princess Charlotte, and Prince Louis emphasizes emotional availability, involvement, and balance. While Carole and Michael Middleton are essential figures behind the scenes, providing support when needed, the children spend most of their time in the care of their devoted parents. Catherine's parenting methods are deeply influenced by her own upbringing. In an interview, she reflected on her childhood in Bucklebury, describing it as joyful and full of fun. She credited her parents for their dedication, recalling how they were always present, whether cheering from the sidelines at her sports matches or supporting her in everyday life. Now a mother herself, Catherine says she has a new appreciation for the sacrifices her parents made and the love they consistently gave. William, by contrast, endured a more fragmented upbringing. His parents' tumultuous marriage and eventual separation meant emotional strain and instability during his formative years. While Princess Diana made every effort to be a hands-on, emotionally engaged mother, insisting her sons experience life beyond palace walls, her untimely death left William and Harry to navigate adolescence under the care of their duty-bound father. Prince Charles, though deeply committed to his royal role, often returned home too exhausted to engage with his sons, retreating instead to his study. William respected his father's devotion to the crown, but when it came to raising his own children, he and Catherine knew they wanted something different. Their chosen path is one modeled after the nurturing, involved parenting Catherine received. This hands-on approach puts the child's emotional and developmental needs first. It focuses not on formality or duty, but on connection, encouragement, and presence, ensuring that George, Charlotte, and Louis grow up in a household where love is always within reach and childhood is celebrated, not constrained. Prince William and Princess Catherine have redefined royal parenting by placing love, presence, and emotional health at the center of their family life. In contrast to the traditional royal model, where duty often took precedence over family, William and Kate have made it clear that their children come first. This shift is evident in many of Catherine's choices, from her decision to take full maternity leave in 2015 while pregnant with Princess Charlotte to her similar request in 2018 after the birth of Prince Louis. Both times she received support and approval from Queen Elizabeth II, allowing her to prioritize